Hey everyone, welcome to Chapter 2. Alright, so now that we've covered what ethical AI is and why it matters, let's roll up our sleeves and actually get started with AI tools. I promise this is the fun part, no PhD in computer science is required. By the end of this chapter, you'll know exactly what tools are out there, how they fit into your workflow, and we'll also be creating something together, and that's where all the magic happens. So let's get started. When we talk about AI in the creative space, it's not just one type of tool, it's a whole ecosystem. Think of it like your camera bag. You've got a different lens for different types of jobs. It's important to note that I'm only going to cover a few generators in this course, but there are literally dozens out there. But here's the quick breakdown. For image generation, tools like Midjourney and Halio can take your text description and turn it into a fully realized image. This is amazing for pre-visualization, mood boards, or concept art. I've been using Midjourney for 4 years now, and it's by far the best creating photorealistic imagery from a text prompt. For video generation and editing, tools like Runway, Flow, and Google VO3 let you create video clips from prompts, extend footage, and use photo references or even reframe shots. Flow is one of my favorite generators to use, and it's what we'll be using in this course today. For upscaling enhancement, programs like Topaz Labs Video AI take footage or images you already have and makes them sharper, cleaner, and more detailed. And this is really going to be important to have in our workflow. For planning and storyboarding, LTX Studio lets you plan your studio shots out visually with AI-generated mockups before you ever roll the camera. It's a tool that I really like, and it's very in-depth and very feature-rich. For scripting and automation, tools like ChatGPT or Descript help write your scripts, transcribe interviews, or even auto-edit based on text. If you're a photographer or cinematographer, think of these as your Swiss Army knife. You're not replacing your craft, you're just upgrading your toolkit to make things a little more efficient and more streamlined. Keep in mind, again, there are dozens of platforms out there that all do similar tasks. Not one platform does everything, so it's important that you research what you want to do first before purchasing any subscriptions, and that's going to be key. Now let's talk about the secret sauce for using any of these tools effectively, and it's called prompt engineering. Basically, it's how you tell AI what you want. Honestly, this is the most important thing to learn when you're working with AI. It's language and details. You want to make sure you articulate exactly what you want, precisely how you want it. The better that you can describe what you want, the better the AI will generate what you desire. A good prompt usually includes the following: the subject, what's in your scene? What's your focus? Who is the person? Is it an object? Is it an action? Make sure that's your first thing you describe when you're prompting. Next is details. Articulate the type of lighting, the mood, the composition, or style you desire. This would include writing things out like golden light, muted colors, volumetric lighting, or cool dark tones. After that comes the modifiers, using terms like ultra-realistic, 8K, anamorphic lens flare, film grain. These will add textures to the video, and that's super important to have as well. And last but not least is context. Discuss the time of day, weather, location, emotion you want to feel. For example, instead of typing sunset mountain scene, try golden hour light spilling across a rugged mountain range, 35mm look, shallow depth of field, warm cinematic tones, light fog in the valley. The difference? That's the difference between a stock looking render and something that feels and looks like it came out of your camera bag. All right, just like I promised before, it's time that we make something together. In this use case, we'll be setting up a pre-visualization for a scout. Step 1, I'm going to open up Google Flow and type the prompt for a location concept. Let's say I've got a commercial shoot next month for an outdoor clothing brand, but we can't travel for scouting because there's just no budget. So here's what I type: overcast forest trail in the hills of Virginia, cinematic depth of field, mossy covered rocks, moody light, realistic style, 50mm lens perspective. As you can see, I have my subject, which is the forest trail, the details, which is the cinematic depth of field along with moss-covered rocks, and then I add modifiers and context stating moody lighting and a 50mm perspective. This is a very basic prompt, and sometimes you want to start with something simple so that you can build upon it as you generate your footage. This is really important. Moving on to step 2, I'm going to hit generate, and then Flow is going to give me an 8-second prompt with which I described. I recommend using VO2 credits for the first iteration just to make sure that the rendering is in line with what you want. This way it saves you money in case the prompt needs to be modified, and pretty much every time it's going to need to be modified. At this point, this is where we start to refine the prompt. You can go back maybe 3, 4, or 5, or maybe even 6 times to get all of the elements that you want in the scene. Let's say I like the output, but it's missing something. Maybe we want the forest path to have a stone formation near it, since the location that we'll be traveling to has some rocky areas as well. So I'll go back and modify the prompt slightly to the following: overcast forest trail in the hills of Virginia with a collection of large rock boulders on the right side of the frame, cinematic depth of field, mossy covered rocks, moody light, realistic style, 50mm lens perspective. Now we keep refining it until we're happy with our results. This is just the beginning of our journey though, and we'll go into more in-depth prompt writing in the coming chapters. For now, this is a great way to visualize the scene we want to shoot and something that we can actually supply the production crew to show what our vision is. So that's your crash course in getting started with AI. Start small, experiment, and focus on the parts in your workflow where AI can save you time or expand your creative possibility. In the next chapter, we're going to take this a little bit further and look at how to integrate AI into full production, from concept to delivery, without losing that personal human touch that makes your work so uniquely yours. Thanks for joining me in this chapter. I'll see you in the next. Hey everyone, welcome to chapter 3. When most people think about AI tools, the first thing that pops in their head after the, oh wow, this is so cool, is the, okay, but how much is this going to cost me? That's exactly what we're going to be unpacking in this chapter, because the truth is, yes, there's a price tag, but it's also not just about dollars. It's also about your time, your creative energy, and whether the return is worth the investment. AI, while it can save money, isn't cheap by any means, and we'll break that down in a minute. But let's start with the basics, free versus paid. A lot of AI platforms have free tiers and they can be great for testing the waters, but they come with trade-offs. Image generators like Midjourney and Halio often give you a handful of free credits each month. The catch, usually you only get to use lower resolution output, possible watermarks, slower processing, and limited styles or features. Video tools like Runway ML might let you export short clips or limit your basic effects, meaning if you want 4K or cinematic motion control, you'll need to use the paid plan. Upscaling tools like Topaz Labs Video AI, free trial usually watermarks everything and it's only viable to show you what's possible. When to upgrade? The upgrade decision is usually simple, and here's a few key factors. If you need client-ready deliverables without watermarks, if you find yourself waiting hours for renders because it's just too slow or you're too far in line for the queue, or if you need full control and customization, like prompt weights, multiple aspect ratios, or extended video lengths. Free is perfect for exploring, paid is where you get the production-grade quality. Here's the part that people forget. AI tools save you time, or they can eat it alive. It's incredibly easy to spend hours tweaking prompts, re-rendering, or chasing one more perfect result. This is what I would call the AI rabbit hole, and if you're billing by the project and not by the hour, this time is costing you. Instead, flip the mindset. Set a hard limit for prompt experiments, say 3 to 4 variations max. Save prompt templates for repeatable styles. Build preset workflows so that you can move from concept to delivery in hours and not days. The more disciplined you are, the more AI becomes a time saver instead of a time sink. Now let's talk real numbers. These are ballpark figures as of now, and again, these could change at any time. They might be cheaper or more expensive by the time this video releases. For Midjourney, expect to spend anywhere from $10 to $60 a month, depending on the speed, the resolution, and the commercial rights that you want. For Runway ML, $12 to $35 a month gets you access to their 2nd gen and 3rd gen models. You can also upgrade to use their new ALF AI model for $15 to $65, depending on which package you choose. For Google Flow and VO3, you'll find yourself paying anywhere from $35 to $250 a month, given the video generator you want to use and the number of credits you want. For me personally, and this is not sponsored or endorsed, Google Flow is your best bang for your buck if you're producing video. For Topaz Labs Video AI, I'd recommend purchasing the standalone version, which costs $300, which removes the monthly subscription fee and you own it forever. The only downside is you only get upgrades for a year, but honestly, it's way cheaper than paying the subscription price, and you may not even use all of the tools that are provided. If you're an Adobe user, you can use Firefly, which is bundled with the Creative Cloud subscription, which is a decent generator, but probably one of the least professional generators on the market, and I honestly don't recommend purchasing it unless you're already a Creative Cloud subscriber. It's kind of one of those, it's fun to use, but not really great for anything. For ChatGPT Plus, you're looking at $20 a month, which is worth it if you rely heavily on advanced reasoning and faster output for scripts, shot lists, or concept development. The free version works just fine for the basics though, so don't think that you have to buy the full version to get something good out of it. I use the free version now and it's wonderful. This is a pro tip. Make sure that you're running a monthly tally of what you're paying in subscriptions, because only $20 a month tools suddenly become $100 a month really quick, if not more. Realistically, for all of my workflow, I'm currently subscribed to 8 different tools, which total around $500 a month in just basic costs. So it's not cheap by any means. For an average production, I'm spending anywhere from $1,500 to $3,000 on AI credits to ensure I get what the client wants. So make sure you're anticipating those costs when setting your rates. Here's the truth. You're not paying for just the software, you're paying for what it unlocks. Imagine saving 3 hours on a tedious photo retouch by using generative AI, which instantly makes adjustments and looks photorealistic in seconds. Or pitching a client tomorrow morning with an AI-driven concept art that you generated tonight, winning the work that you wouldn't have gotten otherwise. Or cutting down the edit time in DaVinci Resolve because AI handles dialogue transcription and text-based editing. The key is to track your ROI, or return on investment. How much time is this saving you each month? How many new opportunities has it created? And has it made your final product more appealing to clients? If the answer is yes, your subscription isn't a cost, it's a growth tool. If it's a no, you should stop doing what you're doing right now and rethink your plan. AI tools are like any other piece of professional gear, whether it's a camera lens, an editing suite, or a drone. They are an investment. The trick is to make sure that you're not just paying for them, that you're profiting from them, either in time saved, quality improvement, or new opportunities opened. In the next chapter, we'll dive into exactly how to integrate these tools into your workflow so that they feel like a natural extension of your creative process, not just another shiny object. Thanks for joining me in this chapter. I'll see you in the next.